just kind of ride around and kind of take a chill pill and let this race come to them. We do go, oh, look out! No, we're not! Grant Peterson hard to the wall! The 15 up and over! We're wrecking big time in turn number 2. It's a parking lot down off of the second corner, and a major, major pile-up. Hunter Thrower gonna take the turn number 1 right there. Hooked him in the rear, and whammo, hard up and flying over. And just watch everybody behind get collected. Nate Brody made it out of that unscathed somehow. Car into the wall, deeper in the background, we're wrecking behind. Dingler's gonna get up into the wall. He's gonna go up and over. A huge wreck down in the turns 1 and 2. One car collecting to the fence into a huge parking lot once again. Off of turns 1 and 2, but it's still green up in front. Peterson and Ball side by side. Peterson to the inside line. Grant Peterson with a Hail Mary. The wreck here transpire from. And looks like it might have been up front where Lucas Lyons was, and around goes several of the drivers. Gannigan took a hard shot over into that outside wall, and Lucas Lyons just left with a whole bunch of nowhere to go at the end of that deal. So we'll see if we can get another view on what happened here to Lucas Lyons as it's coming on down again into turn number 3. And oh, the 27 gets into Grant Peterson. That's what kicks all this off. Lyons goes around, collects Robert Peterson up into the 38, and then from there the track is just blocked. Kyle Green left with absolutely nowhere to go. Looking smooth sailing though for the time being as we rocket back into turn number 3. Fire, look out! Hunter Thrower into the outside wall. He'll be collected by Kevin Cordall, and he'll spin around. Dingler, I think, collects him. And oh, they're all going to come flying in. Nowhere to go. And again, Hopper hits the outside wall, gets down into Duke. And that's going to send Duke hard at the inside wall. Rebounds up right into the 74 of Jeffrey Rudick. Oh, and then the 14 came flying in there. Pardon me. Going with Jonathan Baker and Logan Hamilton. 3 wide. Ray gets into Baker, and around goes Hamilton. And oh man, nowhere to go for Spencer Ray. Watch the spin off of the corner and locked it down and just lost control as soon as he hit the brakes. And that was after contact with Todd Cray, it looks like. Got drilled by Kevin Cordall, and Kenner flips up and over. Rockets back down, and Hoffner had to scramble. Though able to get himself saved, and I imagine he'll have whatever penalties he have, or not say pit entry clear. Oh boy, oh there we go, Kyle Munson crashed up into the outside wall, and that's gonna be the big one here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. 5, 6 involved, still spinning into the tri-oval across the line.
That is really, really bad, that crash, but it does look like the number 15 car may be slightly more responsible than not. Changing down onto those lines mid-corner is not a great idea, because you never know how close that car is, because you're traveling at 200 miles an hour. The slightest tap is going to throw you all out of whack.
Man, and you even had guys flying in well after the fact that still got completely caught up in this mess. So number 4, though, in the 420 car, and right there, yeah, lost it off of the apron, and he's overcorrected, and that's about as hard of it as he could take, and you can see, broke that right front instantly, has no control over that car from this point on.
Like I said, Charlotte, very, very tricky.
Track here, so we'll get a look at this. Oh, hello, one person got to the outside wall, and he got a tip from behind. That sent car scrambling over down into the infield grass, and he slid back up and just got clobbered by just about everybody as he came back up onto the racetrack, and nailed again by the 55, who's still left with nowhere to go. 3. I have a feeling this is going to start a bit further out. They go 3 wide, and oh, right there, the 24 hooks the 48. He gets up on his roof and then just drilled on top of everybody else, and oh boy, that is a ride and a half right there that 48 car just took as he'll slam back down to earth. Started this holding off, and it was Troy Tarbuck. So riding on board here now. Oh my, good grief. Well, if you ever wanted to see what the undercarriage of a next-gen stock car looked like, well, there you go. There's one nice up close and personal. These drivers that caused this one. You see the 15 gets into the 3, and it is just on there. Complete mayhem on the back straightaway as one by one. Drivers have to scramble to try to avoid. You see the 23 of Clampert spin down, and then it's going to be when Clampert comes back up onto the racetrack, you're going to see the 55 collide with her again. I don't think the 55 had a whole lot in control as he's going to drill the 23 as he comes back up onto the racetrack. And incident first here, they got all sorts of kind of calamity around. There you can see Matt going off and into the infield as a couple of drivers ended up spinning around deeper in the field. And right there, absolutely tremendous impact as one car got launched up and over. And meanwhile, Brian Henning's up in front, got collected in this big melee as they came on down in towards the start-finish line. They all crashed big time across the line in the massive pileup. How the heck, though, did Hennings go up and over? That's what I want to know. I would think if somebody came down and cleaned his clock here immediately following the conclusion of the checkered flag. Yes, that's exactly what it was, and that's what sent him up and over onto his side. What a way to end out a night, though.
What a huge way to end out the night.
He's doing burnouts on the side. Look at that. I didn't think that was possible. Look at that.
He's going faster.
Who thought that would have been possible, and it keeps on going. At this point, they're just having fun out there on the racetrack. But what a night for us. Slow this one down here. We'll try to emphasize just how wild of a ride this ended up being as going to get into the 43 there. He's going to swing on up. I think it kind of hooks into the wall right there. And then, yeah, the back end lifted up, and then I just drove completely underneath him. And that's what sent the 420 up and into the air. Lucky that it didn't get into the catcher. They easily could have hooked that car, and he wouldn't have been able to drive away from that wreck.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Watch up at the front of the field, left side of your screen. That's where we're going to see Bounty get a bit out of shape on the inside line, right where the 95 does. That's going to stack up this whole field. Now the 337, oh, he got hit by Jeffrey Hunter, who got loose from the bottom. He nails the wall right where it exits, and they're already wrecking big time in the background of this thing as well. So there was a completely separate incident that went down deeper in the pack. Now, where did this all kick off? Right there, Schramm gets into the thrower, then Kaiser gets hit by Cordall, and from there it all just stacks up together as one by one drivers come flying in. Oh, and there it is! Dingler goes around in turn 2. Here goes Cray. That's going to be the big one on the back straightaway. 5, 6, 7 cars involved. And it's our second rendition of the parking lot. Shiflett gets into Peterson, and it is on from there. As one by one, drivers scramble on through at least 7 cars. Wells pushes up, gets into Dingler, wrecks him down the bottom. Wells goes tumbling down the back straightaway. Purcell gets into it in the big way. Bounty and Smith continuing to battle for the race lead while one by one drivers start to fall back. Oh, heads up! Oh, one car to the outside wall. That's going to send the 69 of Fontno around and hard into the outside wall. For a lot of drivers, we're still wrecking, and now we're going to go fully around. Now the caution's going to fly over in turn numbers 1 and 2. Now heads up for the field. They're going to go flying at full speed, and we're not done wrecking yet as, again, the 46 gets absolutely clobbered. Coming around through turn 3, and how is the 90... The 19 lost. Oh, contact with the oh, wow. Big hit into the tire barriers there for Zachary Kreiser. On board with the 19. Contact. Oh, man. Big wreck. Man, and thought for a moment more drivers might have made it through than they did. Up and close with the back bumper of the 94. Off of turn 4. Oh, look out. Peterson slamming down hard to the inside wall. Rebounded up, and he's T-boned by Kyle Munson, who is shoved into Sean Kaiser. Sees Peterson wrecking on the racetrack. Hello. Oh, man. Happened to Kyle Munson as I think, oh no, he got loose! He got loose and overcorrected, so that was completely on Munson, and you mentioned correctly, body slams up with the outside wall, and then from there, Dave Gage was left with nowhere to go. 3 right here, Peterson shot for the middle, it didn't happen, thrower got wrecked up into the outside wall, and from there, it was complete pandemonium as he had drivers scrambling through to make it across with every response they could muster down to the checkered flag. Thought almost went around again. There was a lot of smoke, and I thought he saw the 45 car get hooked sideways. We're still almost wrecking, and now we are wrecking. as Kaiser gets beaten around. We're 3 wide off of turn 4, and now we're wrecking fully. Oh, big crash! 2 cars up and over against the inside wall. Wells and Thrower on an almighty wreck. Get a look here as you see the triples here get rid of the wall. The 5 and the 52 got together, and they just rebounded up into the field, and that kicked the 000 up and onto his roof, and he rolled down onto that front straightaway. So the push gone wrong. I mean, look, he's still leaning on him entering the corner.
Right there,
and, yeah. Or maybe the 40 tried to side draft.
I had no idea. Look at that.
Oh my gosh.
Man.
Trying to look back this one. Look at Raymond. He gets tagged on
Right
McLaughlin.
there.
And around goes the field as they wreck big time off of turn number 4.
Yeah, and if you think about Raymond, oh man, hard hits.
Yeah, the 90 of Hernandez with a... Checking on Dale Rapp. He was fighting down John Walden Jr. Shoots for the inside of Jern again. Oh, they both come together. And that's going to lead to a messy wreck up in... Down the back straightaway. Spencer Wright jumps up. He's in the wall. We're going to be wrecking now. Down across the field. Down to the apron. Multiple cars hard to the inside wall. No caution yet, though, because of the location where that was. But unsurprisingly, and what has been an absolute barn burner of a show. Sure enough, that car's with the apron. Michael DeWalt's wrecking. It's a big crash. One car up and over. That's a TI racing car. Is that Hamilton, though, against the outside wall? I don't think it is. It's Brody. It's Brody. Logan Hamilton survived. He's still in third. Pushed from the top by Grant Peterson. Contact! We're wrecking it on the back straightaway. It falls apart for Spencer Ray with an almighty wreck. Kenner's also involved. Who makes it through? Does anyone make it through? Gage is out of it. No, he's not. He's wrecking down to the infield. Who's made it out of this wreck? I don't think
Spencer Ray!
Are you kidding me? Spencer Ray makes it out. Right there, they get into each other. Ray wrecks into the outside wall. Every single driver collected in this mess. Cargenigan and Anthony Musati went flying down the back straightaway, and Ray just straightens up and keeps going. Sees the wreck in front, and as everybody collects themselves, he's going to rebound off Zachary Kreiser, and look at that on a wild ride for the 49.
What did we?
This all came as a result of some chaos on the restart. It was a rear end from Hernandez to Hales, but that wasn't what caused the wreck. It was the 5 Walda pushed up, and oh my gosh, no kidding, the 90 of Hernandez tanked up into the outside barrier. Turn number 4, Raymond gets up into the wall. The 52 truck slam hard into the barriers, rolls up on his side, and he was not the only driver, and I think he actually landed on his roof as well as he'll slide down into that infield grass. But Alan Isaac, another driver that really kind of had a lot of damage out of the result of this one. He's the one that I think kind of scared Raymond up and into that outside wall. And see the 60 truck managed to get out of that all right. And how about Patrick Hernandez just found a way to screech through that? And how about the 77? Do you see the 77 back there? This is Brady Weileman. Watch Celine Thompson make the move. Hit checks the Ray Brigg number 90 Toyota, sends Weileman in the hard work to the outside wall, but hang on, it's not done as he gets collected by a massive chunk of drivers. And oh, the 44, I think, just got unsighted out. The yellow flag here in this deal. It was Chris Gore and Michael Mayu entangling together along with John Walden Jr. Right there, you saw Gore gets turned down the inside lane. He takes Thomas Lane Jr. and Michael Mayu with him, and then right in the background there you see Malone getting kicked up and over, and somebody else kind of sliding in there late.
I think it's as simple as just the 4 cars in the lead group right now, single file. I think.
Oh, there we go!
Big wreck! Lots of cars taken out. My goodness. The crazy thing is, my man, it's single file.
Going to the middle. Puck is now trying the middle line. Trying to get between Cherry, and there we go! Wrecking again! Big crash! That collects the rest of the field. Coming on down to turn number 1. And I have to say, that was just clumsy.
Got a little bit of a gap in front of him. Do we see this start to fire off up here? Oh, 1 car around and just a stack up as it goes. The Baby Blue Machine, the 1. Ooh, and catching the apron there was Ellis. That was almost self-inflicted.
It's right behind Dill Rapp. This is for position. Slago shoots for the bottom. Oh, contact and a heavy hit to the outside wall. And then let me guess, Chris Gore, yeah, nowhere to go.
No. Tried to battle with him, and he's going to keep holding that position.
Oh, look out!
Let's turn!
Huge crash up into the air on a tremendous accident for Jacob Noyes. He'll slam back down to earth. That 3-car.
Oh! Oh no, they're wrecking. They're wrecking.
On this one here, you can see the wreck start to develop right up there into the outside wall. He's going to get hit and just bang hard into the side. Same situation. I think he might have just lost it again off of turn 3. And in fact, he has tried to avoid, and holy cow, hefty shot. Violent impact there for Casey Ellis in particular, who slammed the outside barrier right there. Holy cow! I cannot understate how heavy of a hit that is, and it makes me very... Turn number 2 to the back straightaway. 3 wide, and oh man, it started from the bottom, I think, with Dale Rapp.
Yeah, I think it did as well. I think Dale maybe have just drove that car a little bit too deep into the latter stages of turn 2, and it started to wash up the track a little bit. Yep, that's exactly what happened. Yeah, it was Buchanan that did it, not Rapp.
Yeah, and Rapp the road, looking sure to push him towards the front of this field. Look out, huge crash, hard to the outside wall. Jordan involved, the 51 is involved as well, sliding down the racetrack, and that's going to almost send Rapp and Pillar around.
Well, here we go. We've got 3 cars pretty much in a line and just a little bit of ping pong there. That looked like it could have been from a little bit of maybe a miscalculated bump draft there, potentially. I'm not entirely sure.
Who you'll see come up through the S's, go make the right-hander, takes it a little bit wide, and then goes into the dirty part, gets loose, turns to 24, hits the guardrail, and flips 1.5 times by himself. And Nathaniel Ames just kind of loses. It's all good. He's got a good entry into the final corner, but loses it. He just completely lost his marks. And then backs up. Like, oh my goodness. And Ray, huge. Oh, that's the bigger part of the hit. Ray just
was coming up and around through, actually towards Foss's dip, went off the circuit, that went face first into the tire barriers, and well, the rest was history from there. Still off.
There's a big gaggle of cars going into turn 3 of the shell corner, and they're actually side by side coming off. Oh man, another driver gets turned. That's Combs going into the outside wall, up and over. Can he get back onto his wheels? No, he's going to have to reset back to the pit lane unless he gets hit by somebody else.
Biggest story that tells what happened here in these opening couple of corners. You already see a huge wreck coming onto the front straightaway, and right here is where the entire field stacked up into turn 1.
Yeah, there was a couple cars that were 3 wide going through that first turn 1 kink, and the car on the outside just kind of got shoved off into the gravel on the right, and whenever he spun back around, everybody just kind of had to stop or run into people, and we saw a little bit of mixture of everybody else, or everybody doing, you know, one or the other, and man, another big accident towards the front of the field after a lot of these guys got through the first wreck before they even got to turn number 3. I mean, I don't know. Oh man, that's a terrible rejoin right there from the Burger King machine. My goodness. No, of course not. And you don't get penalized for a bad rejoin in this, so it's totally... I apologize.
Cooking them.
Cooking them, sorry. Let's see what happened here. Oh, man.
Whoa!
Yeah, he just gets his nose turned across by the Cinnamon Toast Crunch machine.
Died, and it's going to be a run for 4th. Look out, Rapp going around. We're going to bottle him up. In turn number 4, it's the big one at the Martinsville Speedway, and everybody's in it. Poet rubbing doors. It is aggressive, and it's hooked into the outside wall. We will not. Witt slams the bottom. They pile him up on the back straightaway. The big one, part 2 from Virginia. Went off course at turn 12. Watch, he's going to clip the grass, and that hooks him right head on into the barriers, and that is a tremendous impact. Picked up and into the air, and are coming off of turn number 2. You can see right there, Chicano gets turned hard to the outside wall by, I believe it was Dalton Kilrow, and well, from there it was just a melee. And that sent everybody scrambling down and into the infield grass. A couple of drivers taking hefty whacks into the inside wall there. Oh, look out as one car wobbling in the middle of the line and sharpens it hard to the outside wall. Big time wreck on the back straightaway. Still looking to lock it down. The field trying to scramble. Look out, and huge hit on the back straightaway. Britton is punted sideways. And somehow we still do not have a yellow flag as they're going to wreck their way on the back straightaway. Now the caution flies. Into the back of Sean Britt, and we'll see what he saw throughout this mess. I'm sorry, there's no excuse for that in the slightest. He had more than enough time to see that and get around that. And I think he was just distracted on
because they were stuck behind the car in front of them. They could not see through the car in front of them whatsoever, so I don't blame any of those drivers towards the back. I am a little confused with Paul Wilson. Like I said, I feel like he was probably just looking at the car scattering to the left of the racetrack as we get a nice slow-mo here of this absolutely huge hit. Oh my goodness, man. The 86 just about got under the 55, and then the 76 actually does get under the 55 as he comes back down onto all four wheels. We were just about to, you know, the field was just starting to spread out. We were going to be able to calm down a little bit, and now we're re-racking for a restart, and we're going to have to go crazy again.
DJ Luna being turned to the outside wall. Whoa, by Cody Welch. There was contact. Heavy shot into that outside barrier, and then right there is Canfield and the three that both went in full speed. Who was the driver that that Luna got into? Well, there you see Welch spinning them around, and it was the 28 that got up and into that outside wall.
Yeah, and the 28 of Ricky Hart Jr. has heavy left front damage. He's absolutely going to have to come down pit road to get that machine repaired up. Of Cody Welch.
Oh, he came up. That tells the story right there. And heavy shot into that wall, and then bang! Nowhere for the number 3 of Samuel Lawson to go. Put it up in the front as, whoa, there you see the 8 getting tipped around, and holy cow!
We had a Beyblade fly up into the sky there at the 8 machine. My goodness, he got. I couldn't quite tell. I couldn't quite tell if he came down on Stephen Hayes down there in the 88 through the middle of the corner. I would have to have another look at it back here. This is a little bit further back, looking at the 4 machine coming through. Is that the 4? That's a 9 actually. Yeah, the 9 in that green car. That was a weird little. That was a weird little font there that kind of threw me off, but we're going to look here down at the bottom. That's Stephen Hayes towards the inside. They're 3 wide going into the corner. Stephen Hayes really just didn't turn into the corner, I don't think. It looked like the 8 was starting to come. My goodness, what an amazing visual. I love your slow-mo, by the way. It looks absolutely amazing every time you do it. I mean, that was so photogenic there from the 8 machine, just flying around in a circle.
John Bradley's going to get up and into the outside wall here, coming around to turn numbers 3 and 4, and it is going to cause the mother of all pile-ups working his way through here. As you can see, one of these cannabis racing cars got upside down. That was the 87 of Vasilian, and then, of course, Adam Klein stuck on top of the barrier as well. And we've had another initial incident coming down the hill, so that's what started this whole thing. You see one driver take a hard shot into the barriers. The 549 goes spinning way off the circuit. Then you see the 87 firing back across the track, and that's where Vasilian came down and absolutely cleans out the 746.
Happens for 4th, 5th, 6th place.
You know
in
it
the
will.
Next race. Oh my goodness! It'll be a 30 car pile up there. That was a leader getting turned there. Jeremy Castro's now inherited the lead after he had turned. I can't quite tell who that is. I still don't know the paint schemes well enough, but
I tell you what, right now though, this is, I think, more intense than we expected a lot of this to go. You see, they're already sideways up in front, and it is just on. It is on from there. Look at this mess.
I didn't know Burger King had wings, but he went flying through the sky there. Oh man, I can't say it enough. I love these paint schemes, but you know, I was definitely expecting to see more of a parking
through this whole roadblock situation. You started to see the 25 kind of off at the side, and then, I mean, where do you even go in this situation, right? I mean, you're just kind of stuck at this point in time.
I think you're basically committing to getting hit. You just hope that you can keep the car straight after you get hit. But I mean, that's pretty unlikely, I'd say. I don't think that there's really much you can do. I mean, there's just walls on both sides. You don't have much room to save it. Honestly, really good job there from him not doing a crazy rejoin. You know, you'd expect me. Oh my gosh, I didn't even see this one earlier. I mean, I haven't seen half of these earlier. I don't know why I'm saying that. I mean, it's just been so many accidents everywhere. It's just so hard to keep track of. I mean, that was only a.
Oh, that's how it started. We took a look at this one earlier, but that right there is how this one started, with Tanner Klein getting dumped off the racetrack, and then John Combs being spun around in the middle of the pack, and that's what caused that major pileup towards Skyline.
multiple times, going down towards the chase.
Cooking him.
A little bit of oh my goodness, Cookingham took a major hit and flew through the sky too. But Verstappen with the crazy acrobatics going down towards the chase. Oh my goodness, he just would not stop flipping.
One more from Cookingham here as he again slams that barrier. He is not caught as nearly as bad though as Verstappen was, who tumbled at least half a dozen times down the straight there. And we'll cut back to live pictures.
Eric Ronenberg has taken the lead from Joseph Bell and then makes a mistake all on his own to give the lead back. Joseph Bell has to be grinning ear to ear every time that he gets past. He's just going to get the lead back.
Trouble
we got a car
behind.
going backwards across the start finish line.
Yeah, Corey Barrett having problems, and he's going to nail the 22.
That wasn't the best rejoin I've ever seen. That was oh man, if that was an official race, he would have a week-long vacation 100%, as Combs is just dropping all the way through the field. He was running around the top 10.
Oh man, no!
That's an equally as bad rejoin. Oh my goodness, Combs. Combs takes out LeBlanc, and LeBlanc's over on his lid.
Oh, we are going to get some. Well, punting him into the flying stand, and therefore out of this race. And now.
It's awful for Freed. He was running in about the 5th position. We're going to have to take a look back here, see what happened. Oh, man, he just got that inside wall. They're coming off the corner hard into the outside wall. Comes back across the racetrack and gets flown straight up into the sky twice, 2 times, going up and over. And actually, that's a... I'll have to watch it back later.
Well, we'll watch it back right now. Watch this one go into the grandstands.
Oh my... They get... Mac Verstappen for the 16th position. I have no idea how this guy's in 16th place after everything. Oh my goodness, somebody goes flying. That's Kameyer. He just kind of got pinched in the inside wall by Verstappen a little bit, I believe, there. And there's just not much he could do.
Oh no, as he's backed across the circuit at Skyline. Oh, there it is! Was waiting for that, and he's up on top of the wall.
Oh, and that's going to be Kameyer's race.
Our way through turn number 1.
Jeremy Castro didn't get a good start, but he's still side by side for the lead as we see a crash behind.
Oh boy, oh boy.
Around. Oh, big stack up. This is worse than anything that we saw at Mount Panorama last week. Wow, somebody's going flipping in the air, doing pirouettes. My goodness, we didn't see that at all last week at a tougher racetrack with walls on both sides. And somehow we get a bigger parking lot here today on lap number 1.
She's got the pace to run with the best of them as Brandon Gregg fighting over second. We're 3 wide behind. Raymond trying to keep Bobby Lars out, and he's going to get dumped in the dog leg.
Oh, and this is exactly the kind of championship mishap that we do not need if you are Aaron Raymond. Big hit there.
Not one you want to scrape around. The Hail Melon doesn't work here. He's going to try, though, anyway. On turn 4, he's going to turn Dingler to the outside wall. Oh, big crash. Raymond up and over.
Multiple cars involved, and I think Raymond may have picked up.
He was chasing Eric Vukic up the road. He's taking too much curb. I think potentially, as this is down to turn, whoa, hard on the brakes, and he's found the tire. Scraping the wall, and he couldn't turn. He couldn't turn and then just decided to go out with a bang. So what has happened here down to the turn 7 as, huge lockup, or into deep for the Sim Magic Machine, and look at the race leaders. Is he in too deep? Whoa, slides the back end out and kills the outside wall, rebounds right back.
Tracks. I know VIR is one of Tyler's favorites, so I would expect him to do pretty well there. Tonight, I know he was having...
Big crash. That's Wells hard into the wall, and he's taking Medina with him. That's, in fact, Chris Walden there as well. Watch Musati. You see half on the right-hand side. Oh, he got run over by Spencer Ray. And Musati taking a huge ride. Caleb McNeil will lose control in 1 and 2 all by himself. And, heavy shots into the outside barrier. That is about as heavy of a hit as you can take. Hang on, this is going to get wild. Turns 3 and 4. Again, loops the back end, and heavy impact into the outside wall. And he'll take it to the inside of Brady Powers. To the inside. The 34 bounce on the bottom. Look out! And hard into the outside wall. Bobby Blowers is taken out. And the caution is out. That puts us to overtime. Land the outside wall here. and rebounds right down, and that collects half the field. Coming to the final lap. Hefty hits, and then Joe Evers says, look at this. He just, he went off the track, fired across. Aperture friendly fire there on that deal. Nothing that Joe Evers did wrong. Oh, he was just, that is as innocent as an innocent bystander can get. And you'll take another look at this one as that car having a wild ride all the way off and into the barriers, and want to get one more look at that one if we can, because that is, I cannot express enough just how crazy of a ride this was for, like, look at that, almost flipping over, and that's the tough grass physics in play, almost kicking the car up and over before slamming head on.
Fine, if my calculations are correct.
Oh, no!
What? Big wreck! Caution is out! Ray into the wall!
Oh, and he had a helping hand from the number 18 there, I do believe. Gosh, that is a hard leg. Oh, JoJo trying to go down, contact, and now we're going around hard into the outside wall. Yellow flag is out, and that's half the field right there. The big one out of turn number 4, and that all kicked off with contact between Barrett Guppold and Joseph. Not the way we wanted to see this race panning out, as now this is 3 cautions in about 10 laps. Drifting back up, and here comes the leaders. Well, the rest of the leading pack, I should say. And that apron almost kicked the, is that the 23 car? Greg remaining loyal to Paul Witt. Witt's not remaining loyal to him. Look out, contact! Oh boy! Here we go. Big crash in turn numbers 3 and 4. Buwalda on his side, the big one, with 4 laps to go. As right there, it all falls apart, and that's a wild wreck coming out of the final corner.
We see Kenner just kind of down the left side. They weren't completely flush against each other, and that's what happened there. Good look at this.
Half the field working our way around. It all kicked off. Anthony Musati spinning into the infield grass. Spencer Ray got collected, and more in an almighty wreck. The big one, part 2, as we crossed the start-finish line. 100R. Got a bit out of shape coming through the corner, and he just got tipped by Adam Joseph Mailhot. Turned hard into the wall and kicked upside down. Only to bin it on the final lap, just to, make it difficult as together. It started way up the road, and it was just complete and utter chaos. The 2 of Ethan Conville is the one that got punted skyward by the Burger King machine and nearly went on his roof, but
Paulson just kind of drove it in a little bit too deep.
Oh,
that was a tough one. I feel like Paulson just kind of, yeah, I think you're probably right. 2 of them were kind of going for the same bit of racetrack.
all by himself. Nothing Dees could do about that.
Oh my goodness, that hit for Brian Dees on the inside was massive. I forgot who it was on his inside that tagged him. I think it was Gibson. Maybe that one could be 50-50, but there Britt just came up and tagged Greenwell and then couldn't get off of him again after that. Man, Britt just, that's the same thing as last time with Dees. Somebody from the inside comes up where you can't even react. Again, a cockpit view from Dees is going to show that he probably couldn't even see Britt. And if he could, there's absolutely no way for Brian Dees to react to that situation. I mean, no.
That is a huge hit as well. But that's not a soft hit. That is a huge one.
The 27 came down after the 97 shifted up. You can see the 27 kind of shifts down half a lane and kind of nowhere for Kevin Foster to go. Just unfortunate trying to go into turn 2, but I mean, super unfortunate for David Leakey. I mean, my goodness. The amount of time somebody has come up from the bottom of the racetrack to fly back up to the right and just destroy somebody has been from absolutely nowhere. I don't even know where he restarted, but we got too many replays to count on that last lap.
Oh boy, Dalton Kilroe barrel rolling down the back, down the long pond straight ends up on his wheels at the top with Benjamin Lacey, and then working down through turn 1. And this is from the blimp camera. This is the only way we can show you everything that happened here. Is this is into the fountain section. Watch as everything just Constantina's up, and it is on from there.
You know, I'm kind of jealous of a lot of these
Holy
guys. Typically, you have to pay about $50, $60, $70 to park in downtown LA, but all these guys got to do it for free there, so I'm kind of jealous.
Dingler and Joseph will now be side by side, and Dingler not giving Joseph any room, and he's hooked him hard into the wall. Hard crash for Joseph, and that might be a race-ending collision. I don't recall if Joseph was in an earlier incident. I don't believe he was. He might still have a fast repair. Take a look from the air. Lapinta goes into the wall, collects Brooker, collects Peterson. Brannigan did a great job to get around that, and oh my goodness, Small. I believe that was Small. No, Small was further up the road. Who was that in the blue car they found his way? Oh man, so Cherry got into the outside wall. He got loose, I think. I mean, watch this hit here. Oh man. Heavy shot. Has not been Cherry's night as, whoa, wow, Lapinta getting loose. And oh, wow, Cherry tanked the wall. I'm not sure what Josh Small was doing. It may have been 27 again. Take a look at this as it all fell apart. The whole field stacked up and, well, it was on. Multiple heavy hits up into the wall as it all came crashing down around this field. Watch right there, he gets loose. Brogdon and Gassione got tagged around, and Purcell got hooked big time, and they were both sent head on into the outside wall. Allman just runs over Darling, no other way to put that, as Darling then noses into the outside wall, and then there was Days. There was gets into Tim Branson right across the nose of that number 1 car. Then look at that, Branson. Oh, wow! Slammed the outside wall, ran over Doug Milliner. And as Y. Miller washed up the track in preparation. Oh, look out! Drew Wiseman spins hard into the outside wall. Yellow flag number 5 on the afternoon, and he is clotheslined, or he clotheslines Christopher Darling, who spins down the racetrack. And take a look from the air as it all kicked off. McDougal got turned into the wall. That sent Morcrit down. You saw Days got turned. Mashburn got wrecked. The 7 was involved. As all of this and more just...
Truck of Greg Pillar coming down and ooh, gets right fendered. And that whole front clip just comes off of him. Ooh, and the 89 truck collecting the wall as well. So we'll have to see if he's able to get that repaired.
But oh my goodness, the fresh tires from Ricky Hart. He bit it out there 3 wide. They're making contact. Wrecking out of 2. Ricky Hart, Ryan Dees,
that's the big
Greenwell, Rick Thompson. Everybody is in that one.
Half the field collected on the backstretch.
Blame on that. It's really just a racing incident. Somebody going for room that's there, but it's just closing ever so quickly. It's tough. You're kind of taking a big risk whenever you do that. So I don't want to put it all on Ricky Hart, because I don't necessarily think he did anything wrong. He's racing hard, trying to get himself into a position where he can win the race on the newer tires. But
now Greenwell's chasing the car all throughout 3 and 4. Eventually the back end breaks, and that sends him right into the path of Benjamin Lacey. Lacey pedaled the scramble and body slammed the outside wall.
And if Lacey's on the lead lap, I think he Austin Tucker on the initial jump, being able to pull down to the bottom lane. Oh, somebody blew up already, and they're wrecking into turn number 2. Multiple drivers going around. Mac Verstappen, the pole sitter, Barrett Morton around. Multiple other drivers, too many to name, all in a pile, in a heap on the exit of turn number 1 and going into turn 2. Between the 2 race leaders, just 5 thousandths at the line. Oh, contact into the outside wall. Multiple drivers getting spun around. Coming through the tri-oval down into turn 1. Not as big of a wreck as the first time around, so we still got most of the pack racing up towards the front. Yep, and we're coming through turn 2 right here. Battle for the race lead, side by side. Oh, Alex Copper gets turned heavy into the outside wall, head first, and that leaves 3 drivers for the race win. It's going to be DeShaney's Bradley or Jordan bringing this one home.
Take a look at this one here. Is it, I think a lot of that to do with that giant loose moment we saw just up the road. This is with Crawford. Watch this. As wham! hard into the wall and then just got kicked upside down on a huge pileup on the front stretch. Corey Barrett, Kyle Smith from the air.
Yeah, it's getting right in the Budweiser machine. I actually think that Khan came across his nose. I might have to look at it again one more time just to make sure. But oh my goodness, man, just huge impacts. Everybody just coming in, acting like fun.
I think that rivals Verstappen's flip record from Mount Panorama round 2.
Could have. We need to count.
Yeah, well, we'll get a chance.
Oh, nice
here.
slow-mo. I love the slow-mo. Look at that. I mean, the perfect launch
gravy.
angle right there to get under the car.
And then there's the grippy grass.
There's 1, 2,
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7. Well, 7.5. We'll call this 7.5. Oh, roll it. There you go.
Nice.
There you go. There you go.
That was, I would have closed my eyes, but he
Look
said he
at
did,
this.
which that's I'm gonna. Oh,
That's the. Remember when we were just talking about all the grippy
Man.
grass and how it needs to be fixed? That's from grippy grass. If we had ice grass, that car doesn't barrel roll like that. So, you know the drill. I think everybody does, but now it looks like Ken Rea collecting Chris Bright, and that's what kicks all this off. There's Bright going around, and watch Rea fired up into the outside wall. Find who the Budlong car is in the midst of all of this.
yeah, Free just pinched slow, and the car on the outside or inside was coming up a little bit at the same time, but I don't know. Oh my goodness.
Good gravy. Then, oh, it was Klein. Adam Klein, the other car that got flipped over. This is from further in the back. Kind of saw what happened up front, but this is everybody else, and they were already crashing into turn 3 before they even got on scene. And it just becomes this whole mess. Then again, watch as everybody behind just comes flying in completely unsighted. They're just trying to make whatever spots they can muster, and it leaves this. Mateo Dupuis running with Bear Morton right there. They come together. Dupuis goes into the outside wall, and exactly as you mentioned, just crowding down, and it results in all this. And, okay, admittedly, some incidents, like whoever that was in the cannabis car, just exacerbated the incidents by just not slowing down at all. And then right down into turn 3, just got over-aggressive, took too much curb, and that kicks the back end of the McDonald's machine around and stops him in the middle of the track. Right there, Days got hooked by Purog, then Mooney hit the wall. The 92 of Branson came flying in there.
LeBlanc through the last corner. He's down to the inside. He slides out into LeBlanc, and he turns himself into the outside wall at the start-finish line. Nowhere for Combs to go. Big accident. And Madole, innocent bystander, Todd Madole gets taken out once again.
Oh, we might not be done yet. Here comes Josh Freed and more. So.
Oh, and our second place runner, accident. Big heavy contact into the outside wall.
That was Darren By that got hooked in there by Kyle. Alex Cofford takes pit strategy to send the Fuddruckers Mustang through into victory lane as he embeds it in the wall. Guys like Joseph. Whoa, boy. Oh, contact hard into the outside wall. Goes Spencer Ray. Joseph goes with him, and that brings out caution flying number 1. That comes, and it's just on from there. Brannigan pushes Cherry up into Wilson to kick this one off, and, have to whack there for Peterson, and then, Purog. I think Josh Small getting into that pretty heftily as well. Here's what happened to Grant Peterson further up the road. First time tonight. Already a couple cars going around at the back. You take a look from the air down in the turn number 1. Tyler Carlton going around, and that's going to create a huge stack of 5 wide into turn number 1 as everybody scrambling and jogging for position on the exit of these corners. This area shot the only way you can get a view of what's going on as we've got a parking lot. Somebody is upside down, and we're still crashing all the way down the long straightaway. 2, 3 cars now upside down. 4 upside down. Look at the top of the frame.
This is an unbelievable visual. This blip.
We're not done still.
They're still wrecking. Ron Wolf. Is that Ron Wolf that got turned? Yeah, upside down cars. Can't do anything. Oh my goodness. Just all the way through the turns 2 and.
Oh, Wilson got loose, and oh man, that was a vicious hit into the outside wall for both drivers. So we hightail it down off of turn numbers. Oh, hello, Joseph. Joseph getting hooked and big crash. Huge pile up down in the turn numbers 1 and 2. Musati is wrecked. Of incidents I've ever seen, and then right there, the wall hooks out. Sean Deal killed the wall. Holden McGill got all jacked up. Been helped by Holden McGill. Oh no, he lost that by himself. Slammed the wall right back down hard into the inside wall.
That was, as you kind of see him get stuck here and against the wall, they were kind of going there real good, and then all of a sudden they kind of got shuffled back and just kind of accordioned everybody else, and then the rest of the 12 friends joined each other in turn 3.
Kind of looked like Dale Rapp to the wire. They were beating and banging down there too to fight it out for the win here, as you see Lane right there try to put a stop to it, and it wasn't having it as they slid a cross-start finish on what was a phenomenal way to kick off the Super Speedway Blitz over here from the Daytona International Speedway. So
when it came down, it was on top of the roof, and then just inertia kept it going.
Right there, you pointed out correctly. All 4 wheels lifted off, and I think at that point, Buwalda still had the throttle pinned out of a bit of a panic reaction there, and just, I mean, at that point, once you get up to the top, you're committed, so you may as well just keep going at that point.
Yeah, really and truly there, you might as well just commit to the bit as you go. We'll take another look at it here. By the way, both Hales and Buwalda Jr. down into pit lane here, as is Kyle Howard. Not sure if he caught any damage as a result of that wreck. But there again, you see it just kind of locking over. And yeah, I think you're right about that, Nolan. I think Hales just kind of kept the throttle, or Buwalda just kind of kept the throttle pinned, and that's what helped carry that car up and over.
And we'll take a look on what brings out this caution as, boy, Gary got hooked hard into the outside wall in that 68 truck. Then he slid down and just got clotheslined by John Buwalda Jr. Speed from the air. Right there, you saw that little bit of a nudge, and that's what kind of kicked all of this off. And then you observe the carnage from above as, holy Toledo. You can't, it'd be easy to count the trucks that weren't involved in that.
Yeah, we've had that commenter's curse all, whoa, side by side with 728 and the 28. Getting close. Oh, big wreck coming up.
There it is. We weren't going to make it, and it's the huge one coming down into turn numbers 1 and 2. At least a dozen trucks collected.
Thought he was clear, and out of nowhere, the truck comes down. And there's my guy, Brendan Gregg, getting tied up in it as well.
There's nowhere to go in that mess. You just have to just hold the... Our view got very much obscured by all the signage there on the front straightaway. This was all working down. There you see the wreck start to develop ahead of these guys. And it's just on. And once again, at this point, all bets are off. Like, at this point, you have drivers flying through this just trying to survive to make it around to that checkered flag, right? Because you know there's not going to be a caution. You got... As... right there, huge air. John Canizaro Jr. and car crash into the outside wall. Big crash, 1, 2, up and over. The big one on the front straightaway. And Raymond just get hooked hard into the outside wall. He got kicked skyward, 00 as well, and boy, Raymond went for a wild ride. Through turn numbers 3 and 4, Tufts just turned down on him, pinched too much, and Raymond got hooked hard into the outside wall. Got kicked up and in the air by the 66 car. Landed on the deck, got kicked up again by the 88, kicked back onto the hood. Before finally slamming down to earth. Make it back out and onto the racetrack. We're 3 wide, meanwhile, and now McDougal gets turned hard into the outside wall for the 45. And he's going to slide to the bottom, and he's up and over. Josh McDougal digs in and rolls the... Whoopsie daisy, up and over you go. Take a look at this one at real speed, coming at you. Down they go, and pretty much everybody behind this mess getting involved. Oh. Won't be able to get there. Oh, Dingler takes out Clapper at the stripe. Holden McGill takes the checkered flag, and we crash it big time across start finish. Multiple cars, that's the rest of the field, all collected. Wide, 2 rows deep, working on it, turn numbers 3 and 4 to the right straight, but there we go. Slagle dumped to the outside wall. And we got more trouble. Big crowd to the 35 on the front straightaway. Brett Rucker just went face first into the outside wall at about 180 miles an hour. This is all working out of turn numbers 3 and 4.
Bam.
That's a hard shot to the outside wall. Then look at Brett Rucker. Boy, he had Paul Witt. That would have broken the safety barrier. That would be a red flag for a wall repair, a little bit, if this were the real world.
Forget for the 8.
All by himself, and again, that back end just comes around on you. And he's just going to avoid spinning into the pit road, onto the racetrack, and hard hit. That was Sean Britt that it got clotheslined. His motor is going to expire right about there. The motor lets go. You see the smoke starting to fly, and then John Buwalda Jr. behind. Oh, he got run into by Michael Gudger, and it was on from there. So this is all a stack up in relation to Alcapinti going around, and then it just all falls apart. Not as bad of a wreck as I thought. A good many drivers managed to man, barely slowed down at all trying to get it checked up for that wreck, and that's not, he's going to get hooked up with Mike Allen, just gives that bad bump. It is on from there. And golly, that is such a violent impact into that inside wall, and it's times like that I'm very grateful. It is just in a hurry as the 55 found the outside wall, and it's one mistake, and then goes down to the Paul Witt, takes out the 99. There goes LeBon Van Leer into the outside wall. They're wrecking up in the front as well, but there you see at least 6 trucks involved. There's 7. Thompson Jr. found the outside wall. The 33 gets nicked. That sends the 1 truck into Zane Bailey. I believe that to be Robert Jordan as, goodness gracious. Big hits all around in this field, and they just have to make it around to the white flag, then all bets are off, but already we're going 4 wide in the background. That's not going to work. We're to the outside wall. Caution is out, and for the 2nd week in a row, we'll end the race behind the pace truck as Aaron Raymond dumping the 12 after the fact. So Raymond, I think, is angry, possibly with a broken truck as well. And suddenly come down. Oh, yeah, Brian Huntley Jr. comes down, and boy, hooks them both hard into the outside wall. And, well, there you go. Caution's out. For Dale Rapp up to Brian Huntley Jr. Rapp leads the 2nd pack. And whoa, 1 truck around. That's James Wurtsma spinning to the inside, slams into the inside wall, and a caution flag is out again. Howard goes up the track. He's slow out of turn number 2, gets into the wall. Wurtsma doesn't know where to go. Spins him around, and then boom.
Yes, again, we are in the virtual world. As we take a look at the truck coming down through the corner right now, just spears up, catches up into that catch fence, and that front of the car just absolutely destroyed.
Flipped over, I can't even count, about what, 3-4 times potentially in that?
Now that's going to be Gudger working that high side, trying to pinch Brady Road a little bit. Contact from behind. Truck's spinning. Are they going to be able to lock it down and keep it pointed the right way? Big contact into the inside. That could bring him back up the track. Then there's contact into the outside barrier, but I think we're going to stay green.
Help from the 41 that got into the side right there of Ray Zerkut. Slides him around. He's going to go and find the inside wall right again where the wall juts out. That, oh, wow. Lifted all 4 wheels off the ground. And this is the big one.
Oh, and we've also got to be thankful here. I mean, that could have been.
Yeah. Working on the top, and Kaiser with a big move to the bottom. Trying to dive bomb the 5, and he's going to take out Austin Gassione into turn 3, and now Kaiser hard into the outside wall in a big way. Big trouble on the racetrack. Spencer Best slides up, and he's going to get collected by Frank Flores and Devin Pirog.
23 truck down a little bit or as much as you could. We've got to remember here, though, that the brakes on these Craftsman truck machines are not really designed to slow the car. They're really here for rotation. And there's that big wallop for the 88. For it there, you don't want to be too abrupt with it. Oh, contact in the wall. We've got cars spinning around. One of them's Coonan.
Hard shot into the outside wall. The 54 will slide into the infield grass. Oh, and a big hit up on the top side from for Jamie Lee Dunning. There is the big one. And I got to put it bluntly, I think a lot of what came from back straightaway, this will be watching James Wartsma. Tang was in the outside wall, and then, oh, Jeff Dorned it into the inside wall there.
Yeah, that was a very rough lick there for him. He is going to be feeling that one if he is holding on to the wheel tightly.
On board. And
oh,
it's one of the worst places he can hit, and they rebounded it rebounded him right back into the outside wall. Line coming around the reinforcement. Whoa, a big crossover. Slagle back to the bottom. And
contact!
Dub Raymond for the lead, and Slagle's taken out. That's big news, and that could hand the championship to Gudger on a platter.
And Gudger was able to sneak through up into P2 as a result of all. Yeah, this was just some rough racing there. It looks like they're the 6 truck of Aaron Raymond. Saw him coming, just tried to cut down across him there. And there you see the big ka-thunk that happened through the field.
Bellew and Slago both took some monstrous hits into the outside wall. Overall, great drive on the field to get around that. The 10 looking like may have been spun around, and Kyle Simmons did. Oh, Simmons nailing the pit attenuator with the passenger door. That's a hard shot for the number 10.
Oh, big lick there for that number 10. By the way, we are getting a message from Race Control. We will get one attempt at a green-white checker. But let's ride on board with that number 10 for this hellacious ride down into the pit attenuator.
Just locked the brakes, trying to keep it out of Haynes, and gosh, that's a hit.